Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Jeffrey Porter. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at StockIQ. I have 30 plus years in the software and supply chain arena. Deep experience in supply chain, came out of industry working for manufacturer. It's my pleasure to present a little bit of an overview of StockIQ and our software. Just recognize that a very short demonstration, there is a lot to the application. StockIQ is one smart package. Our mission statement at StockIQ is to make it easy for supply chain professionals to plan, forecast, and replenish inventory. We do that by developing software that's easy to use, easy to adapt, and easy to adopt. Let's focus in on the adoption. We have a 28-day promise from the time that we engage users to the time we're ready to go to training. StockIQ is a partner, not just a software vendor. I will tell you, you'll have a partner here that meets your needs now, but has the ability to grow with you. We have the functionality, the services, the development, and support to meet your future needs. Our value proposition to our clients is inventory reduction, increased customer satisfaction, improved planning cycle time, increased revenue and margin, and reduced risk. So with that being said, let's just take a brief view of the overall demonstration. I think what you're going to find in here is StockIQ is very visually based. So our application has a number of different modules. So within our pricing module, everything that's included over here on the menu bar is included within that application, and unlimited number of users. Our home facility gives us the ability to have a planner's dashboard. This is where we're summarizing all of those alerts that are being brought to the planner's attention that they need action on. It might be something that's under forecasted or over forecasted or stockouts. The planner has the ability to drill into these individual items by clicking on the individual item, or they can go directly to the reports. So StockIQ offers a full set of reporting in each one of the individual modules that you're seeing over here. These reports can be customized, they can be filtered, you can come through and you can set these individual views. So this is common practice within all of the reporting within StockIQ. You can decide what information you would like included in here. What's my inventory position at my lead time, for instance. So all of this information is available. But first and foremost, what we're doing is we're highlighting those things that needs the overall planner's attention. Another thing that I'll bring to light is oftentimes, as much as StockIQ is focused on generating forecast and demand plans, we're also focused in on generating replenishment and the inventory parameters that derive it. But we have executive level information and dashboards that provide the executives with key information for managing and monitoring the overall supply chain. So as much as we're in there to execute and suggest POs and work orders and transfers, we're also giving that high level insight to the planners and to the executives. Where's my opportunity? Where do I think I need to invest more? So a very key insight here for the executives. We also provided an executive level SIOP. This is really about bringing in together all of the information, demand, supply, inventory, and capacity, and giving that high level planning. So let's get directly into it. And the core and the heart of the system is StockIQ's forecasting. Within the overall forecasting, StockIQ can forecast at the individual item level. We can go down to a site level. We can also go all the way down to an individual customer channel. This is really a key element in that a lot of our clients today are forecasting by an e-commerce, maybe B2B, maybe B2C, or specific individual customers. This gives us the ability to incorporate their promotions, bring in their opinions on what their forecasts are to do a better job of forecasting directly for them. So as you're looking at this, StockIQ will bring in, say, historical sales. We can bring that directly in from D365, or we can bring in external information. With that information, we're generating a forecast. That includes the overall trending. What's the demand doing? Going up, going down, staying flat. We will identify seasonality. We can look at seasonality on the individual SKU level. We can also look at it within our forecasting hierarchy. So with that information, we have a set of algorithms that are going to go through there and produce a tournament, and we're going to identify that forecasting algorithm that best fits that data. This is the baseline of what we're looking for. Along with that, we're generating some key information, which is how confident are we within that forecast? This information is utilized to help us determine how much safety stock we should put in place to support this product's individual service objective. One of the things in here is you will note that each individual SKU is ranked. Is it an A item, a B item, a C item, and what's the behavior of that? We do that by going through and looking at a stratification. So we'll look at all the individual SKUs, we'll look at their their number of orders they've received, the quantity sold, the margin generated, and will help the clients come through and identify, are they A, B, or C items, and what's their overall behavior. This information then can be utilized to help us determine what service objective we want associated directly with that. That's expressed over here in our safety stock with a 99% service goal. So we're also going to size the parameters to help with replenishment. We'll identify the reorder points, the safety stock levels, all based on our ability to forecast it and the desired service objective. So this gives us the parameters for identifying where the stocking needs to be. Now, from an MRP perspective, StockIQ, if this is a finished good and we have component materials under it, we'll explode those, generate an MRP plan for all of the individual components to generate the purchase, the work orders potentially. That's expressed in our order schedule right in here. The order schedule is going to look at on hands. It's going to look at what's on order, the minimums, the multiples, all of those other factors that are brought in by D365. And we make recommendations on when orders need to be placed. Those orders are then sized, and how we place those orders are going to occur directly in our place orders module. So this information is available for that SKU. One additional thing is we do provide a lot of tools in here for modifying and making changes directly to that. You'll notice we offer visual indicators to say, maybe I want to put a 20% lift on this particular SKU for this period. This now becomes our consensus or our operational forecast for this particular SKU. We're going to take that information, we're going to measure how well we forecasted. So in addition to identifying all of these other things, we're going to take snapshots of all of these, and we will generate the value add that this modification made. So tracking forecast is a key component for us. I mentioned earlier that hierarchy. StockIQ has the ability to generate forecast hierarchies. So we can take all of our SKUs, we can roll them up into product families, subfamilies. We have the ability to do 5 levels deep. This is really helpful when executing a SIOP process in that we now know what our unit-based forecast is. We can also generate this forecast in a revenue level as well. So very, very helpful when it comes to planning. We understand what it takes, what our plans are developing there. Let's go directly over into the purchase module. So ultimately, StockIQ is going to take those forecasts, we're going to take those inventory parameters, and we're going to make recommendations on the supply. Those recommendations come in the form of purchase orders to the vendors. It might come in the form of a work order, manufacturing order, and or a transfer. So StockIQ will make recommendations on what inventory needs to be moved from one site to the other, hub and spoke fulfillment. Let's take a look at one of our vendors in here. One of our vendors in here, we're recommending a purchase. 35 items need to be ordered. By the way, just to highlight in here, if we have minimum orders out there or how much we need to get to a free freight, we'll identify that as well. So this is an order wizard that guides the planner down through the process of evaluating the individual order suggestions that are coming from StockIQ. We'll identify that order quantity. There's a whole host of information that can be included on this grid as well. So the planner has the ability to customize the data that's being presented. So for instance, maybe I want to know how many days of supply this order represents. This information can be brought in. We can save that view. This now becomes my view that I begin looking at each time I come in. You'll also notice in there's some visual indicators. What this is telling us is that there's inventory that might be available someplace else in the network. It's available, maybe it's excess. Instead of ordering more from the vendor, I can actually use this as a substitute. So with that being said, we have our base level order suggestion. A lot of our clients will utilize our order wizard to come in and optimize those. Maybe they need to come in and look at the total number of cubes. And you can see we have 73,000 cubes. Maybe we need to bounce that up to 80,000. So the tool will actually come in and it will optimize and make suggestions on what additional SKUs and or the quantities that need to be changed in order to meet that objective. Here's a list of those individual changes that are going to occur. I can apply those back to my order, and I'm now ready to execute this order and send it back into D365. Next step in the process, we're going to give indications where we might have overrun that order. Next level in here, we're going to format up the POs. Next step in the process is we can put notes, and when we click on place order, these are automatically published and ready to be executed to the vendor. So in addition to placing orders, StockIQ monitors our vendor's performance. We have a vendor scorecard. The vendor scorecard allows us to look at all the receipts, identify how that vendor's performing. We can also calculate lead times. StockIQ is also heavily vested in AI development. This has been focused in on identifying things around the forecasting, where are unusual sales, maybe where we're due to buy. I've touched on just a bit of what StockIQ provides that complements the D365 platforms. It'd be my pleasure to provide an additional demonstration if you desire.